Love lives in the details. And yes, it's a little irrational and a little obsessive, but that's the beauty of it. That's why she remembers your favorite sandwich order, why she notices when you change your cologne, why she lights a candle that reminds her of your car. These are crumbs to her. It's subtle, unassuming, but deeply intimate. She's learning how to comfort you, surprise you, and deal with the ordinary, strange human things as well. It's relationship. Don't simply respond to the questions if you want to win her affection back. Ask your own sign 5. She becomes envious of unexpected things. You think a girl at work is being dramatic when she touches your arm for a brief moment, but she notices and feels it later. She's quiet, not angry or insecure, just uneasy. This is because when a woman loves you, jealousy doesn't come from threats. Rather, it comes from loss and the fear that someone else might notice what she sees and take it before she can express how much it means. But here's the twist. Her envy isn't limited to other women. It may also manifest as your ambition, work, or remoteness, your quiet, your late evenings. Whatever drags you away, this kind of jealousy is subtle and internal. It's not loud or possessive, but if you look closely, you can see it in her eyes and the way she pauses before saying, "It's fine." It's not about control. It's about fear. It's not about who she loses you to. It's about when she starts mirroring you without realizing it. You reach for a book, and she reaches for the same one. You both laugh, and you say something in your signature dry humor. Love always comes with a little fear. So what do? You see it, you name it, you make it safe for her to feel it. 3 days later, she employs the same tone with her friend. She didn't prepare it or practice it, but it's your rhythms and cadences that seep into her. This isn't imitation, rather, it's attachment. Psychologists refer to it as an empathic mirroring of an old survival tactic disguised in contemporary lipstick. She starts to mirror the things that make her feel emotionally secure. And if that describes you, congrats. She's gradually assimilating your identity into hers. This is vulnerability disguised as connection rather than weakness in the conventional sense. A woman in love is a chameleon and curator. She takes in what she values. But here's the catch. If she is imitating your worst tendencies, your tension and your aloofness, your distance, look in the mirror and don't blame her. This vulnerability relates to the feedback loop you two have established rather than her. Love has memory echo. Sharpen it if you see your soul in hers because she's using your reflection to define her next version without even realizing it. Sign 7. She over-apologizes even when she's not at fault. You're both walking to the car when she bumps into you and says, "Sorry," while laughing. "Sorry," she continues, "you forgot your keys." When you tell her that you're exhausted, she responds, "Sorry." You wonder why she constantly apologizes, because she sometimes murmurs, "Don't be too much. Don't rock the boat. Don't ruin it. Don't repeat the past." She's not apologizing for what she did. She's apologizing for existing in a way that might scare you off somewhere in her story. She learned that affection has a ceiling and approval is fragile. So she tries to shrink, bend, fit into the mold. You won't break her over. Apologies are not about guilt. They're about preservation, a survival mechanism dressed as politeness, and it's heartbreaking once you see it for what it is. So what do? You tell her. She doesn't need to apologize for being human. You let her take up space. You make safety a habit, not a performance, because when she stops apologizing, you'll know. She finally believes she can stay. Sign 8. She gets irritated by your flaws, then defends them. You make a joke that falls flat. She rolls her eyes, says, "You always do that." When a woman loves you, she sees your flaws more clearly than anyone else, and sometimes they bother her because they make her feel vulnerable and exposed. However, the difference between annoyance and protection becomes apparent the second someone else criticizes you. Her irritation isn't rejection, rather, it's intimacy, a side effect of letting you in so deeply that it affects her chemistry. But if someone else tries to call it out, that's when her love shows its claws. Don't worry when she selects faults or stops caring enough to notice sign 9, because she recalls your casual remarks and makes them genuine. That's when you know she doesn't want to change you. Instead, she wants to understand why you are the way you are and hopes you'll do the same for her. You hardly remember saying that you miss the smell of your mom's pancakes. Perhaps it was a half-slumber mumble. Weeks later, you return home to find her laughing and laughing while eating pancakes, covered in flour. You ask why, and she shrugs, thinking it would make you smile. One of the most potent flaws a woman can display when she is in love is that she will listen to your whispers and transform them into gestures. No matter how big or small, she will remember your favorite movie scene, your childhood snack, or the story you told once about the treehouse that you never finished. She will hold it in her heart like a treasure and discreetly return it to you without fanfare, because love for her is an act of creation and its memory becomes meaningful. Therefore, when you see her doing something sweet and random and unnecessary, don't dismiss it. She isn't trying to impress you. Rather, she is trying to honor you. Sign 10. She lets you see her without the armor. The mascara is off, the filters are gone, and the mascara is off. She speaks in a gentler tone. She laughs less loudly. She doesn't attempt to be charming or brilliant. She's simply a human being with flaws, and she lets you see it. For the majority of the world, she wears the armor and smiles with care, but there is no performance or script. The social disguise and the rehearsed confidence, women learn so quickly that they forget they're even wearing it. But with you, she begins to gradually reveal her secrets, not all at once, not drastically. Her anxieties, her unsaid sorrow. In any case, most people think vulnerability is about letting someone walk through your inner hallway without cleaning up first and without hiding the boxes labeled handle with care. When a woman does this, she lets you into her unguarded hours, the messy, moody, sacred parts. The father who left the friend who betrayed her the moment she realized the world doesn't always give back what you give it. She shows you the cracks, and in doing so, she's asking one question silently, between the syllables, "Will you love me?" If you look closely, you'll see that she's watching your reaction, not your words or your eyes, because she doesn't need you to fix it. She just needs to know that her mess won't make you leave. If she trusts you enough to collapse even for a moment, don't tell her to be strong. Instead, tell her that she already is, and you can see it all before you leave. If this struck a deep chord with you, or if it caused you to reconsider her glances, don't tell her to be strong. If you're into that, subscribe not just to keep watching, but to start seeing, because once you learn to read between the lines, you'll never look at her or yourself the same way again. This channel was created for you if you're interested in her silences and strange little moments of magic. We don't do surface level. Instead, we break it down, slow it down, and decode love, pain power, one truth at a time.
Welcome to Modern Stoic Insights. I have a question for you. Have you ever sat across from a lady who is grinning, nodding, and drinking an expensive coffee, and you sense something is wrong but are unsure of what it is? Her words only convey one thing, but her eyes and quiet indicate. Here's the thing. A 2021 psychological research that was published in Personality and Individual Differences claims that they are performing jazz in a minor note. In the early phases of intimacy, women are twice as likely as males to conceal their vulnerability rather than tell lies. Disguise, shroud, dress it up in ambition, sarcasm, busyness, even flirting, and now for the actual twist. Their flaws are what they conceal, not their strengths, since it is only for the guy who is observant enough to see them that true power exists. You want to be that man, but locker room advice and pop psychology memes won't get you there. Let's cut and sign one so she competes with you, but doesn't win since you'll need something sharper and deeper, like a scalpel instead of a sword. She responds with answers, teases your guesses, and calls you out when you pretend to know something you obviously don't. She's quick-witted and fiercely competitive, but this isn't about trivia. When a woman truly loves you, she will spar with you not to win, but to connect and feel the spark. This is a love language that most men misunderstand. They believe she's testing their ego, when in reality she's saying, I trust you enough to play. Because genuine connection isn't about perpetual peace, but rather about healthy tension and a tug of war of ideas and energy. If she throws sarcastic and bantering punches and smiles when you punch back, that's intimacy disguised. The twist is that if you get defensive, she'll pull back, reading you as insecure. She's not trying to undermine you, rather, she's trying to see if your confidence is genuine. If you can dance in the fire without flinching, that's it. She's not looking for a man who folds at conflict. Rather, she wants one who can disagree with grace and laugh while doing it. So, the next time she engages you over something silly, lean in, match her fire, and let the sparks fly, because beneath every satirical argument, she's asking, can I be fully myself here and will you still stay? Sign 2. She sees what you're not saying, looks at your phone while drinking awful coffee, and acts as if nothing is wrong as she butters bread. Then, all of a sudden, you appeared a bit strange when your brother texted, everything okay? Pause, you didn't even mention your brother. This is one of those hidden female weaknesses. That isn't weakness at all. It's her radar, her sixth sense, and when she's in love, it gets scary, accurate. She sees the shift in your tone, the silence between your words, the wrinkle between your eyebrows when something's bothering you, and not just sees. It feels it like an emotional lie detector. But here's the kicker. She won't always say something she won't pry. She might just go quiet or start asking strange indirect questions. And if she loves you deeply, this will drive her crazy because you're hurting and she knows it, but you're giving her nothing. Why? Because most men are taught to bottle, to fix, to muscle through. But when a woman loves you, your silence isn't stoic. It's painful to her. She's not trying to invade. She's trying to share the weight. When you open up even a little, she doesn't see weakness, she sees trust. It's not about dumping your feelings, it's about letting her into the locked room. You rarely open, because once she's in, she'll protect that space like a vault. And if you don't, she'll stop asking, not because she stopped caring, but because she learned you'd rather walk alone. Sign 3. She gets quiet around what matters most. You ask her what she wants from this from you, and for the first time all night, she doesn't have a quick answer. She looks down, says something vague, changes the subject. You think she's unsure. Wrong, she's terrified. Because when a woman really loves you, not lust, love the soul level kind, she doesn't come at it loud. She comes at it trembling. She overthinks her texts, rehearses what to say, plays it cool, even when her heart is screaming. It's the opposite of what movies taught you. If she's gushing about how much she wants you from day one, that's fantasy. But if she pauses, gets careful, fumbles her words, that's the truth sneaking out. Quietly, fearfully, honestly. Why? Because love for her is not safe. It's been used against her before. Weaponized, mocked, left on red. So when it returns, it's not loud, it's cautious. And when she's finally vulnerable enough to show it, she's not asking you to fix it or label it. She's asking you to hold it without jokes, without fear. Without rushing to reassure her that everything's okay, just hold it, and her silence will say the rest. Sign 4. She poses brief, apparently pointless queries to you.